The Legend of Maximus, released in the year 2000. Ridley Scott's Gladiator.
Nothing happens to anyone that he is not fitted by nature to bear.
Didn't just win 5 Academy Awards. It single-handedly revived the sword and sandal genre that had been dead for decades.
And now, together, you and I. You have a son. Tell me about your home.
Russell Crowe's portrayal of Maximus Decimus Meridius became an instant cultural icon, representing honor, strength, and the spirit of Rome. However, the path to creating this masterpiece was as brutal and chaotic as a battle in the Colosseum itself.
Do you know, I still remember you in my prayers. Oh, yes.
From a script that was barely finished when filming began to the tragic real-life death of a lead actor mid-production, the behind-the-scenes story of Gladiator is filled with incredible secrets. Today, Movie Secrets Club is counting down 15 shocking facts you were never told about this Roman epic. We are going beyond the arena to uncover the digital magic, the physical injuries, and the secret rivalries that made this film a legendary piece of cinema history. Number 15. The script that didn't exist. One of the most shocking secrets about Gladiator is that the production began without a finished script. When Russell Crowe signed on, the screenplay was only 21 pages long, which is almost unheard of.
Husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
For a $100 million blockbuster. Ridley Scott and the writers were often making up scenes and dialogue the night before filming or even on the morning of the shoot. Russell Crowe was famously frustrated with the quality of the writing, reportedly telling one of the producers that "your lines are garbage, but I'm the greatest actor in the world, and I can make even garbage sound good." This tension actually worked in the film's favor, as it forced the actors to improvise and bring a raw, spontaneous energy to their performances. Much of the iconic dialogue we quote today was actually created on the fly during heated moments on set. Number 14. Joaquin Phoenix. Nervous breakdown. Joaquin Phoenix gave a chilling performance as the villainous Commodus, but the pressure of the role almost broke him.
Tell me what you've been doing, busy little bee, or I shall strike down those dearest to you.
During the early days of filming, Phoenix was so nervous and overwhelmed by the scale of the production that he asked Russell Crowe to hit him for real to help him get into character. He felt that he wasn't capturing the true intensity of Commodus's madness. At one point, he even collapsed on set due to the emotional exhaustion of playing such a dark character. To help him relax, Ridley Scott and Russell Crowe had to constantly reassure him and even joke with him between takes to keep his spirits up. Ironically, the more nervous and unstable Phoenix felt in real life, the more terrifying and unpredictable he appeared on screen, resulting in one of the greatest villainous turns in history. Number 13. The tragic loss of Oliver Reed. The production faced its greatest tragedy when Oliver Reed,
Where we belong. The Colosseum. Oh, you should see the Colosseum, Spanish.
who played the Gladiator trainer Proximo, passed away from a heart attack during a break from filming. He had not finished his scenes, leaving the production in a state of crisis. Rather than recasting the role and reshooting weeks of footage, Ridley Scott decided to use cutting-edge technology, which was very new at the time, to finish Proximo's journey. They used a digital body double and outtakes from previous scenes to create a digital ghost of Reed for his final moments in the film. This cost the production an extra $320 million for just 2 minutes of footage. The result was so seamless that most audiences never realized they were looking at a computer-generated image, allowing Oliver Reed to give one last legendary performance from beyond the grave. Number 12. Real tigers. Real danger. In the famous battle between Maximus and Tigress of Gaul, 5 real tigers were used to make the scene look as authentic as possible. While there was a veterinarian on set with tranquilizer guns in case something went wrong, the danger was very real. Russell Crowe had to stay at least 15 feet away from the tigers at all times to avoid being attacked. But in the chaos of the fight, one tiger actually got within a few feet of him. Crowe later admitted that it was the most terrifying moment of his career. The fear you see on Maximus' face during that encounter isn't just acting. It's the genuine survival instinct of a man standing next to a 500-pound predator. This commitment to practical effects is why the scene remains far more intense than any modern CGI-heavy action sequence. Number 11. The secret behind the wheat scene. One of the most poetic and famous images in cinema history is the shot of Maximus' hand brushing against the tops of stalks of wheat as he walks through a field. However, there is a hidden secret about this iconic moment. That isn't Russell Crowe's hand. The scene was actually a pickup shot filmed later by the second unit. The hand belongs to Russell Crowe's stunt double Stuart Clark. Ridley Scott loved the imagery so much that he used it as a recurring motif to represent Maximus' connection to his home and the afterlife. It's a perfect example of how a small, unplanned detail can become the emotional heartbeat of an entire movie. Even though it wasn't the lead actor, that hand has become one of the most recognizable symbols of peace and redemption in film history. Number 10. The Colosseum's partial reality. While Gladiator is praised for its massive scale, the production didn't actually build a full Colosseum.
Been in the army? Yes. I served with your Vindabara. You can help me.
Because building a 100% accurate, full-sized replica would have been impossibly expensive, the crew built a 1/3 section of the arena in Malta. This section was about 50 feet high and made of plaster and plywood. The rest of the stadium, including the upper tiers and the thousands of screaming fans, was created using digital effects and large-scale miniatures. To make the crowd look real, they used a mix of 2,000 live extras and thousands of digital sprites that were programmed to move and cheer. This blend of practical construction and early CGI was groundbreaking for the year 2000, set the standard for how historical epics would be filmed for the next 2 decades. Number 9. Russell Crowe's physical toll. Playing Maximus was a physically punishing experience for Russell Crowe. By the time filming ended, he had suffered a broken foot, a cracked hip, several broken teeth, and multiple scars on his face and arms.
Husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
During the opening battle in the forests of Germania, Crowe's horse actually bolted into the trees, causing him to be hit by branches and debris. The cuts and blood you see on his face in the opening scenes are completely real. Crowe refused to stop filming because he wanted the exhaustion and pain of Maximus to feel authentic. He often joked that he felt more like a real soldier than an actor by the end of the shoot. His scars remained visible for years, serving as a permanent reminder of the literal blood and sweat he put into this Oscar-winning role. Number 8. The Rome that smelled like trash. Ridley Scott wanted the city of Rome to feel lived in and gritty, not clean and polished like in older Hollywood movies. To achieve this, the set designers used a very fragrant secret. They scattered rotting vegetables, actual mud, and animal waste across the streets of the set to create a realistic atmosphere of a crowded, ancient city. The actors often complained about the smell, especially under the hot sun in Malta, but Scott insisted that the discomfort helped them stay in character. He wanted the audience to almost smell the city through the screen. This attention to sensory detail is a hallmark of Ridley Scott's directing style, turning a movie set into a time machine that transported the cast and the viewers back to 180 AD. Number 7. Mel Gibson almost played Maximus. It's hard to imagine anyone other than Russell Crowe in the role of Maximus, but he wasn't the first choice. The producers originally offered the lead role to Mel Gibson, who was the biggest action star in the world at the time. However, Gibson turned it down because he felt he was too old for the physically demanding role. He was 43 at the time. Other actors considered included Antonio Banderas and Hugh Jackman. When Russell Crowe eventually met with Ridley Scott, he was actually out of shape and had long hair for another movie. Scott saw past the appearance and recognized Crowe's warrior spirit. This casting decision changed the course of Crowe's career and gave us a performance that defined a generation, proving that sometimes the right actor is better than the biggest star. Number 6. The accidental thumbs down. One of the most famous gestures in the movie is when the Emperor gives a thumbs up or thumbs down to decide the fate of a gladiator. However, historical experts on set pointed out a secret. In ancient Rome, a thumbs up actually meant kill him, representing a drawn sword. While a compressed thumb or a hidden thumb meant spare him. Ridley Scott decided to ignore the historical accuracy and stuck with the modern thumbs up for good, thumbs down for bad logic. He feared that if he used the historically correct gestures, the audience would be confused and think the Emperor was being merciful when he was actually being cruel. It's a rare case where Hollywood knowingly chose a lie over the truth to ensure the emotional impact of the story wasn't lost. Number 5. The Germania forest fire. The opening battle in Germania features a massive forest being burned to the ground. You might think this was a controlled set, but it was actually a real forest in England called Bourne Woods. The Royal Forestry Commission had already planned to clear that specific area of forest for replanting, so Ridley Scott struck a deal with them. He offered to burn the forest down for them as part of the movie, saving them the labor costs while giving him a spectacular, high-budget set for free. The massive fire and falling trees you see in the film are 100% real. The production used real flaming arrows and catapults to ignite the woods, creating a level of battlefield chaos that felt incredibly dangerous because it actually was. It remains one of the most intense openings in cinema. Number 4. Connie Nielsen's historical expertise. Connie Nielsen, who played Lucilla, was much more than just an actress on set.
Is arrested. We daren't wait any longer. We must leave tonight. Proxim will come at midnight and take you to the gate.
She was a secret weapon for historical accuracy. Nielsen is a scholar of Roman history and spoke several languages fluently. She often corrected the production designers and writers on small details regarding Roman customs, clothing, and the political structure of the Senate. While Ridley Scott took many creative liberties, Nielsen fought to keep the soul of Rome intact. She even discovered that a specific piece of jewelry her character wore was historically inaccurate for the time period and insisted on it being changed. Her dedication helped ground the movie in a sense of reality, ensuring that the characters felt like real people living in a complex society rather than just actors in costumes. Number 3. The secret cameo of the dream sequence. The beautiful ethereal dream sequences where Maximus sees his home and family were not originally part of the main filming schedule. They were shot as an afterthought to give the movie more emotional depth. The secret here is that the actress who played Maximus' wife, Giannina Faccio, is actually Ridley Scott's real-life partner and now wife. Scott often casts her in small roles in his movies, but in Gladiator, her presence became the symbol of everything Maximus was fighting for. These scenes were filmed with a special shutter effect to give them a blurry, dreamlike quality, distinguishing them from the harsh, sharp reality of the gladiatorial pits. This visual contrast is what makes Maximus's longing for his family so heartbreakingly effective for the audience. Number 2. The original ending was different in the original draft of the script. Maximus was supposed to survive the final battle. He was going to kill Commodus, be reunited with his men, and live to see a new Rome. However, during filming, Russell Crowe and Ridley Scott realized that Maximus was a tragic hero, whose only true desire was to be with his murdered family. They decided mid-production that Maximus had to die to make the story meaningful. This secret change is what gave the movie its legendary emotional ending. If Maximus had lived, the movie would have been a standard action flick. By having him die, it became a story about sacrifice, the afterlife, and the price of honor. It was a risky move that ultimately won the film the Best Picture Oscar. Number 1. The Ghost of the Colosseum, the most haunting secret of Gladiator.
You see that map, Maximus? That is the world which I create.
Is that the ghost of the Roman Empire felt very real to the cast. Filming in Malta, surrounded by ancient stone and thousands of extras in armor, created a psychological shift in the actors. Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix stayed in character even when the cameras weren't rolling, often maintaining a cold distance from each other to fuel their on-screen rivalry. When the production wrapped, the massive set of the Colosseum was left standing for a while, and locals claimed the area felt haunted by the energy of the intense filming. The movie didn't just depict history, it recreated it with such passion and intensity that the line between 2180 AD completely vanished. Gladiator remains the gold standard for epic filmmaking because it was built on real blood, real sweat, and a legendary commitment to the craft. Strength and honor, and there you have it. 15 secrets that prove Gladiator was a battle both on and off the screen. From scriptless beginnings to the digital resurrection of a legend, this movie's legacy is as immortal as Maximus himself. Which secret surprised you the most? Was it the real tigers or the fact that Mel Gibson almost took the lead? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey back to ancient Rome, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Movie Secrets Club for more deep dives into your favorite blockbusters. Until next time, as Maximus would say, what we do in life echoes in eternity. Goodbye.